Hey, I'm Justin from Alchitry, and in this video we're going to import a project from Fusion into KiCad 10 and Altium Designer. This video was made from the setup footage of a delay tuning video. Click the card to check that out. It was cut from that video to keep it on topic, but we'll put it in this one as some people may still find it helpful. We'll begin in KiCad and then tackle Altium. Let's jump into KiCad to get started. So now that we have KiCad open, our first step is going to be importing the project files from Fusion. I exported these earlier as an Eagle compatible format, so we're going to import them as an Eagle project. Then I have to select where I'm going to put the KiCad project. Here KiCad asks which layers in the imported file match up to which layers in KiCad. I'm just going to use the auto match layers, it seems to be pretty close, and hit OK. And here's the board that it pulled in, and here's the schematic. After importing this, I found it pretty funny that KiCad imported the logo upside down, which I'm pretty sure is a bug because KiCad uses a grid where the Y direction points down instead of up, like most things. So I think that's just a mismatch in how Fusion and KiCad do it. Everything else looks pretty good though. Going back to the PCB, we can see that the logo for the FT portion, for whatever reason, didn't quite import correctly. For this, I'm not gonna bother fixing it. I'm just gonna delete it because it's not important. We're going to change all the reference designators, which are currently on the silkscreen layer. We're going to move them to the fab layer. The fab layer is just there for documenting where parts are, and I'm not going to put these on the board, and they're just kind of in the way. So we can easily do that by going to Edit, Text and Graphic Properties, and then check reference designators by layer, and then we're going to choose the front silkscreen layer, and then we're going to set the specified value to the front fab layer. If we apply it, then they all moved, but we also want to do it for the bottom ones, so get the ones on the bottom and move those to the bottom fab layer. And now we can close this. Now they're all on the fab layer, which is gray, and I don't care about that for this, so I'm going to just turn those off so it's a little bit cleaner. If we run the design rule check now, we'll get a ton of errors. Let's quickly run through these to see where they're coming from. We see a bunch that are talking about solder mask aperture bridging different nets, and if we scroll down, we'll see one's talking about clearance issues with the default nets. We can quickly fix these by going to File, Board Setup. On the Violation Severity tab, we can see that there is an option for solder mask aperture bridges items with different nets. This is actually intended in this design, so I'm going to set this from Error to Ignore. If we hop back into the board setup, we can then go to the net classes. This is where the clearance issues were coming from. On the Net Classes tab, we can see that the default net class has clearance and track width set that are incorrect for our board. We can change them to be correct. The via size also needs to be updated. If we run the DRC again, we get a lot fewer errors, but we still get quite a few warnings. Let's check out what these are. This first one is saying that no net is on this corner pin here. That's actually intended. So if we right click on this error, we can say exclude this violation. A bunch of the warnings are about the silkscreen clipping. We don't really care about this, so I'm gonna go ahead and change that warning to ignore. That's again in the Violation Severity tab under Readability. Let's run the DRC again and see how we're doing. All right, with that, we don't have any more errors. Well, that's it. Now that we're done in KiCad, we can head over to Altium Designer and see how that workflow compares. Let's get the project set up. Like in KiCad, we're going to import the Eagle project to use as a starting point. We can do this by going to File, Import Wizard. Next, and I can tell we're going to do an Eagle project, and I can add the two board files. The default layer mapping is a bit off from what we want, so we need to change a few things first. For some reason, the keep out and restrict layers from Eagle are treated as copper, which is wrong. We don't need these, so I'm just going to tell it to ignore them. It also puts the component designators on the silkscreen layer, which, like in KiCad, we could change later, but I'm just going to do it here. I'm going to set them to T-Dock. Finally, I use the T-Place and B-Place layers in Eagle as my silkscreen, so I'm going to switch that to the silkscreen in Altium. On the next page, I'm going to make sure that the Generate 3D Bodies is off. We're not going to mess with the 3D model for this project, and the generated bodies aren't great. If we did need it, I would import the models separately. Now we can choose where to save the project, and then finally finish importing it. Just like in KiCad, there are a handful of issues that we need to clean up. First, there's clearly something weird about the way the FT logo is represented in the Eagle file. It's probably a bug in Fusion when exporting to the Eagle format. And again, like in KiCad, I'm just going to delete it. Altium also really doesn't like how the Alchitry logo was made. While it looks okay when zoomed out, when we zoom in, we can see it's a mess. I'm going to quickly replace it with a new one. So to do that, we go to Place, graphics, and then select a box around where we want the graphic to be. And then we choose our file, which we'll go here, invert. We need a few parts of it to be on the silkscreen layer instead of the copper layer. I can select these, then change the layer. We also need the solder mask to be removed from the copper. With the components on the top layer selected, I can check this solder mask expansion box, which will remove the solder mask from those, allowing them to be gold on the board. Let me just line this up over the old logo. Okay, now that that's taken care of, we have an issue where a bunch of the components are complaining about clearance. This is from the element template used, which covers the whole PCB. Altium by default doesn't like any components overlapping, so even though this is intentional, it's getting upset. We can fix this by excluding this footprint from the rules. In Design, Rules, we can come down to Component Clearance and select our rule. Then we can change this All selection to Custom Query, and then we can use the Query Builder to select only that footprint, so associated with footprint, and then we can come in here and find our V2 element footprint. However, we want this to be not that footprint, so if we go to the Query Helper, this shows us some other options we get, and we can do not, which negates this. Like KiCad, Altium falls back to text inputs for the really complicated stuff. This allows you to have tons of flexibility in how you specify rules. However, in my opinion, Altium's Query Builder and Helper make it easier to figure out what's available and how to specify something. Both of these are far superior to the limited ways you're allowed to specify rules in Fusion. We also need to set the second one to be the same thing, because otherwise the second one could be our V2 element footprint. So this will completely exclude that footprint from collision checks. I'm also going to change the minimum clearance to 0.15, as we have some that are closer than the default. So that got rid of all those errors. You can see these little green dots all over the board. These are other DRC errors. Let me quickly tweak some rules to fix them. We can go to Design and Rules. If we go to the top, I'm going to set the width to have a maximum of 5. I don't really care what the max width is because there's nothing that crazy, and there's no real reason to have a max width in the case of a general trace, but some of them are bigger than the default that it had. Second, I'm just going to turn off the silk to solder mask and the silk to silk clearances, as I don't really care if they're overlapping. Going back up to the top in the clearance for same nets, I'm going to look at this table here. In the same net clearances, I'm going to set the via to track and via to SMD pad to 0. I'm also going to set the hole to SMD pad to 0. This will allow the vias to be in the ground pads of some footprints. I'm also going to set the via to via distance to be 0.09. There were some rounding errors in the import that caused it to be slightly less than 0.1, so I'm just going to change this for the sake of this project. On a similar note, I'm going to set the minimum hole size to be 0.249, just to account for rounding errors. If we run the DRC rule check again, we get down to a lot fewer errors. Here we have some board cutout issues. I'm going to move this off screen for a second. This is for some reason during the import it made a hole and the board outline for the mounting holes. So I'm just going to delete the drills, as we don't need a hole there and the board outline. The other two issues on here are because of this trace. I'm not exactly sure what's going on here, but if I just take this and move it a little bit, it fixes all the errors. So now if I do Tools, Design Rule Check, and rerun the check, we get no errors, which is great. Importing projects between tools seems to always cause some issues, and KiCad and Altium are no exception. For example, a bug in Altium's importer caused some major issues on the first batch of Alchitry's PT boards. In Fusion, you can connect multiple footprint pads to the same schematic pin. In the case that the pad numbers are consecutive, Fusion represents them with a dash, like 4-6. Altium interpreted this literally as the pin name 4-6 and failed to properly connect the pads. Looking at the imported FT for this project, it seems to have done it all correctly, so this bug was likely fixed, but it's just something to be aware of. While it can be useful to import a project to use as a starting point, it's really important to check that everything is correct. If possible, it's often better to just recreate things in the tool of your choice and avoid any weird bugs. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And as always, thanks for watching.